Hello, my name is Randall Park, and you are about to hear a story about Frank Emmy. Yeah. So Frank Emmy was born in Los Angeles, and he worked for his parents' produce market. And when Frank became of age, the parents were like, okay, it's time for you to take over this fruit market. And Frank was like, sweet, because I got plans. I'm gonna live the American dream. Then on December 7th, 1941, Frank Emmy was listening to the radio and he hears,
Hey everybody, this is the radio, and I have news for you. It's breaking news. The Japs have bombed Pearl Harbor. Don't be offended. This is how what we call them right now. We call them Japs. It's all good. And they just bombed Pearl Harbor.
So he was like, oh shit, this is crazy, but probably won't affect me. I'm an American citizen and I've been here all my life, but it'll be fine. And then a couple months later from the bombing of Pearl Harbor, Franklin Delano Roosevelt basically said, the Japanese are officially a national threat to the national security. And yes, I use national twice in the same sentence. Excuse me. Therefore, we must round them up and put them in internment camps because they're too dangerous. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was on to something. Oh man, I'm like gone. So, like, basically, Frank was like, is this for real? This is mind-blowing. Next thing you know, it's like a knock at the door. It's the United States of America. Yeah, what do you want? Well, it's time for you to go to your internment camp.
They were a bunch of Jeff Foxworthies?
Yeah. And they were like, you know you're a redneck if you're walking people into trains to get sent off into internment camps, and you don't give a and then they got rounded up into these trains and they head off to Wyoming. And then they get to this internment camp called Heart Mountain. What a name, right, for an internment camp.
How much heart was there?
No heart, no love.
Just a mountain.
Just a mountain. They should have just called it mountain. So he hears this Japanese phrase, shakata ganai. It basically means it can't be helped.
Shakata
ganai. Ganai, yeah.
Shakata ganai.
Yeah, that was right. So Frank is like, no, we gotta do something about this. We're Americans. This is completely unconstitutional. And that's when a soldier comes up to him and is like, fill out this loyalty oath. And on it has a bunch of just questions. Do you like hamburgers?
Do you like hamburgers?
Dumb questions, right?
Well, and I'm asking you, do you like hamburgers?
Are you questioning my loyalty?
No, I'm just asking if you like hamburgers.
Cheeseburgers.
Of course.
Yes, okay.
You're an ass off if you want a hamburger.
Yes, if you have the choice.
Yeah.
Right. And then he comes to this question, are you loyal to the United States? And he's like, wait a minute, you just like stripped us of our rights and privileges as citizens of the United States, and now you're asking us if we're loyal? So Frank stood up and he's like, under the present circumstances, I cannot and will not answer these questions.
So cool.
Boss move. So he starts posting flyers all around the camps. Hey everybody, like, don't check these boxes. Come with me and defy this order. And as he was hammering this thing on a post, and this dude comes up to him and was like, hey man, I'm coming with you. Frank Emmy was like, what's your name? He was like, I'm Frank Inouye. And they were like, oh shit, Frank. We're both, that's kind of cool, but this sucks. So why don't we meet and figure out what to do about this? And then the government was like, we need more troops. We're gonna start drafting Japanese Americans to fight in the war. Take it from a drunk guy on a comedy show on Comedy Central. This is ridiculous. At that point, Frank Emmy was like, oh, hell no. no, no. This is when the Heart Mountain Fair Play Committee was born. Their mantra was, no shikata ganai. And they would say this, no shikata ganai. No shikata ganai. No shikata ganai. No shikata ganai. They were now this unified group and their main tactic was to resist the draft. During these mandatory recruitment sessions, the first thing they do is send this pre-draft physical, don't even touch it, just return it empty. And then they won't be able to do anything. And then these US Marshals with guns, and they're like, you guys are under arrest, come with me. So they cummed.
They come to the court.
They come to the court. There were 63 of them in this trial, and at this point, these guys were like masters of the Constitution. So they're like, we're gonna be okay. And then this judge comes up. The first thing he refers to them as is, you Jap boys. Then they all realize, like, we're done. And ended up going to prison. So when all was said and done, almost 500 men throughout all the internment camps resisted the draft in some way. So eventually the war ends. So Frank Emmy ended up spending 18 months of his 4-year sentence in prison. And then in 1947, President Truman officially apologized to Frank Emmy. Sorry, we kind of screwed up. And he basically said, thank you.
Let's help each other.
Yeah. We have a heartbeat,
We're all
blood,
the same.
come. I mean,
We
women
come the
have-
same color.
Let's come together.
I came twice.